Hi everyone, it's Diane, Lucky Gardenia, here coming to you from the Dallas area in Texas. It's Memorial Day, it's 10 o'clock at night. I've had a couple of days off, so my whole sleeping schedule, I stay up very late. I think I went to bed at 7 in the morning this morning, and then of course I wake up in the afternoon, so my whole body clock is off, and when I go back to work it's gonna be astounding. But needless to say, I tried to meet my own expectation of uploading a new video yesterday. This is number 5, and want to thank everyone that has taken the time to watch my videos. I know I don't have much to show as far as works in progress, and I have a story to tell on my one work in progress from this week. It's a disaster. Anyway, do you ever get to the point where you just are working on a project, you know, you realize it's just going down the drain, and trying to decide whether you're gonna just frog it, start over, or just move on to a different project? I had wanted to get to a certain point. I had been doing background on one of the Frida Kahlo's patterns that I'd bought off of Etsy, and had been using, I think it's 301 floss, and I swear under light with magnification glass, you just can see every darn twist of a thread or inaccuracy that I have done. And on top of that, I went to get Thread Heaven from a local quilt store and had started using it. Of course, I already had, I think, probably 300 stitches in, and then pretty much determined it wasn't really making any difference. I continued on. I think I had close to 800 stitches in this, and was even getting over to where I could get into some of the different colors around the top of her head. So I was looking forward to that. So I wanted to really get to a point where I could show you that I'd done something this past week, and I was already dressed, prepared, thinking about what I could possibly share with you, and looked at it under a stronger light and magnification, and it was horrifying. Not only were some of the stitches that I thought I had done very well on, it just looked really bad. I did test a different color floss. I think I did like a somewhat of a navy blue on it, and you don't nearly see the flaws in that color, that the one I'm working with. And I just got to the point of near tears. You know, it was like 3 in the morning last night. It's like, or this morning, it's like, you know, do I try to do a video and just go with it with what I have? Is it salvageable? Anyway, that's still not determined. I think, frankly, I'm going to move on. I'm getting very upset with myself. I guess everyone goes through this. I haven't done cross stitch in, I think, since mid-80s, and obviously I'm wearing reading glasses. My sight isn't what it used to be, so I think I used to be good at this. I don't know if all the things I bought I'm going to be able to do, because I'm getting discouraged. But I'm going to power on, and I think go to something with more colors. And I don't think it's going to be a heaven and earth design, something with a lot of confetti that would just be really difficult. I've done a few of the ones that I bought. I've gotten in like 100 stitches, and I promise you within 100 stitches there's probably 35 colors. So I think I have to be pretty strategic about what I do next, so I can, you know, feel like I'm doing it somewhat correctly, and the fun can be there. Because that's really, I think I mentioned in one of my other videos, that it's the process. It's not really the output, but I really don't want it to look like a mess. So I was even going to show you what I ended up with, but probably a gift from heaven. I can't find it right now. Trying to gather all this stuff. to do this video and just can't find it. So it's probably a blessing for you and me both. So anyway, I did work on it. I worked quite a few evenings. I've worked lots of hours on it. I've been listening and watching to several of the series that I go to on Netflix. Foils War, I think I've re-watched that whole series. I think there's 8 seasons. Watched that, watched a couple movies. I did do something that I told you that I don't do. And I bought a movie from Amazon Instant Video, and come to find out I had it already on Netflix. It's the Anna Karenina, I'm probably saying that wrong, classic book and movie by, I think, Tolstoy. And I'm sure this isn't a, most of you probably know the story, so don't want to really have the mystery gone, but it's not a happy ending. So I'm going to do one of two things. I almost bought the audiobook. I'm waiting because, you know, my theory, I gotta have a happy ending. Either I've got to watch and listen up to a certain point and stop watching it so I don't get to the end, because, you know, tragedy is just, I don't like that ending. I want happy endings. But the movie with, I think it's Keira Knightley, is just awesome. The filming of it, the colors, the movement, the dancing, it's just beautiful. And so I want to watch it, but I clearly cannot watch it to the end, because you know me, I skip forward to find out what's going to happen, and it didn't end the way I would have chosen. So let me see what else I've been watching. Oh, I've been listening on Audible. You know, I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and have re-listened to, I like the Mitch Rapp series by Vince Flynn, and I believe he died this past year, and another author has picked up writing, you know, the Mitch Rapp series, and really had done a very good job. That it really sounded like the flavor of the book. I think I own every one in that series, and it's one I can just continue to listen to and enjoy. Also, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, that series, again, the author wrote 3 fabulous books, or it was divided into 3 books, and I believe all 3 have been made into movies. And then, of course, you know, he has passed away at a very young age, and someone picked up to write a 4th book, and it was very good. I don't know if it was as good as the others, but those are some of the ones that I listen to on an ongoing basis. Also, Barry Eisler has a great series. It's kind of espionage, mystery, hitman, you know, type of, I like CIA type of kind of mysteries and thrillers. I don't know if it would be a thriller, but you know, trying to save the world, so to speak. But those are some of the ones that I have enjoyed. I did this past week go back and watch some BookTube videos, and I found an awesome booktuber, and her name is Zoe. So it's, I think it's Read by Zoe is the name of her channel, and I think she even has a read-along ostentatious corner or something like that, where there's 4 from the group that are reading the same book in a month, so to speak, and then they do like a forum where I guess they're Skyping and talking about the book. So I think which one did they? Green Gables, Anna Green Gables, which is a young adult book from the I think written turn of the century probably, published in 1920, and it still is enjoyable. And Netflix actually has come out with the first book in a season, so it's brand new out. I think it's Anne with an E, and it's fabulous. Just this is probably the 6th take I've had with this video, and as my blood pressure goes up, you notice I'm just turning red. I would never be great testifying in the court of law because I would look like I was lying, because I can't help it. It just happens. Let me look at my notes and see what I was going to share with you. Obviously, let's rate the week a fail with my work in progress. And what's even more disappointing is the only one I worked on. I do have some haul, and also wanted to show you some. I hit the 3 craft stores here in my area almost on a weekly basis, and if they have a great coupon, I'm going to be there maybe even a couple of times. Well, I was at Hobby Lobby, and this was Saturday, and I had gone to see Gracie, I think it was Friday night, and dropped by the Hobby Lobby in Denton, and they were having a sale on some of their cross stitch kits. So I think I bought 4, and so I went to the one here locally, or closer to where I live, and just wanted to take a quick look. Well, I don't know what possessed me. I almost have to just put my head down and walk and not look at anything, because if I see it and want it, it's just gonna haunt me till I go get it. But I live in Texas and have a horse, and got this picture behind me, and it reminded me of Gracie, even though it's not a paint horse. But several of the pictures on Instagram that I've uploaded, I've used an app that has made it like a neon horse, and this painting really reminded me of this essence of that. But also, there was one that looked like it was probably originally a watercolor, and it was really big, and I don't know if you can see it without a glare. It's a buffalo, and it's probably 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet, and I looked at the price, and it was on sale, I guess, for the Memorial Day weekend, and it was like $20. I mean, and it was framed and matted, and clearly it was reproduction of the watercolor, but heaven forbid. This other one, the horse, was $13, and then there was a cow that I just loved. I don't know if you can see this. And with the 40% off coupon, it was like $13, and I couldn't make my mind up. I bought them, kept the receipt. If I ended up not liking them, I was going to take it back. But I think all 3 of these under $45. It was just kind of crazy. So hard to pass up. So I thought I'd put Miss Gracie here behind me, put a little lights around her, and jazz this thing up. That was the one thing that was so noticeable about the BookTube videos, is I don't know if they take classes, but you can look at them and they all somewhat have a format. So I don't know if there's a BookTube course or what, but they all have like this rhythm to the way they talk. They're very polished. All the editing, it's truly amazing. They, a lot of a lot of them are young adults that have started these channels and have tons of subscribers, and then they end up having these publishing house send them early editions of the book with all this gear to help promote it, and these nice boxes, and it's pretty amazing. And I don't know how they read them and still have a life, but obviously I'm an audiobook reader, but a lot of the ones that I've watched, some of them are into books that I really wouldn't be interested in reading, but they're just kind of mesmerizing to watch because of their production value. Oh, I just looked down. Netflix, couple others. I like the MI5 series, been watching that. Just tonight found a movie on Netflix, Angel in the House, that's heartwarming and just a sweet movie. And then the Father Brown series that is from the BBC. And almost anything that the BBC puts out that's mystery related, I love. You know, I just will gravitate to those. So I'm so thankful that we're able to get those through Netflix. And okay, let me go on with, last week I was showing you what I had purchased as far as digital downloads from Etsy, and I didn't have the photo of the Marilyn Monroe, the iconic picture. After I saw those Marilyn Monroes, I looked at Amazon and ordered a couple of books that were through other booksellers. This one, I had no idea it was so big. Look how big that is. It's by Norman Mailer, and it's got fabulous photography in here of her whole life, and an biography to go with it. So I need, this is such a heavy book, you'd have to have it propped up on something to read. But it did have the picture of the chart, and that's one of my favorite pictures of her. Now the mystery to me on Marilyn Monroe, you can look at pictures from her youth and she didn't have the beauty mark. Does anyone know? Is it on those pictures they covered it up and it always was there, or was that just something that, you know, she used like a eyebrow pencil or something to put a beauty mark? I would love to know the answer to that. Okay, let's see, moving on. Some of the ones that I'm thinking about starting is this, it's by Barbara Batz, B-A-A-T-Z Hillman, and it was out of a book I showed you, I think, last week or this week. This is Flosstube video number 5, so it might have been in my the 4th one or the 3rd one. And these are crate labels. And what I didn't realize is there was 3 in the book that I had gotten. That one's cute. And look at that. The water drops on that. It looks like, you know, for real. And then that one. Well, me being, I like to chase down almost the impossible. So after I saw these, I thought, you know, are there kits out there that I could purchase? And I came across a, I don't know when this was published, out of print, and it was called Crate Labels and like feed seed packets or something like that, and they had 16 different patterns. Of course these 3 were in there, but I wanted it. I mean, I could see that they were really cool. I did find on the Barbara Cooler website you could download a couple of them or something similar, but they were like $10 for one pattern, and one I think was like $8. So I found one from a seller. One was selling it for like $700 and something. It's like, would someone really pay that much for it? But there was one that was reasonably priced, and it's one of those things you're like, do I want to spend that money? Do I not? Do I want to? And you know, if you don't buy it, it's going to be gone. So earlier in the weekend, I went on and bought it off of Amazon, so looking forward to that. One thing that I'm also considering doing, I was watching, let me see if I can figure out who it was. Made by Glee is the name of her channel, and she had been working on, or had just finished, the Storytime Classic from the Frosted Pumpkin, and she had switched out some of the books that she didn't care for, and somebody on Instagram had created a Harry Potter frame, and then they had an additional Great Gatsby that she replaced one of these with. But I've had a heck of a time trying to figure out what type of background. I dyed some Aida cloth over the past month or so, and had a gray. This one was gray, what they had, the test or the picture was made on. And but the gray I had, you know, I had the floss colors, and it would, the gray in the kit or in my flosses would not have shown up. So I went to Hobby Lobby and bought some RIT dye that was pearl gray, and it still wasn't light enough. So yesterday I went and bought some alternative flosses that if I ended up using that color, I would be able to switch it out. And then I guess because of the holiday, I'm thinking about this one. Quite a few people have done it, and it looks really cool. It's the anniversary of the national parks, and this was from 2016, Frosted Pumpkin. And there was somebody that even had adapted some of the park rangers to look like themselves, and then had changed some of the national parks, I think, that meant more sentimental value to themselves. But I think that's a really cool idea. Okay, I need a drink. I'm talking too fast, my ears are red. Anyway, I had ordered, again, this is one of the, someone had shown it, I think they had done a completed, you know, project, had shown it on their Flosstube, and thought, where in the heck is that pattern? And I found that Jalen Needlecraft had it, and I don't know where I actually found it. I don't know if it was here or the UK. Jalen, I don't think is I guess it's published out of New York. I have not really heard of them, but it's for autumn. And one of the books that I have in the Barbara or the Donna Cooler books, they had one for one of the seasons. But this is autumn, and my daughter's a school teacher, so I like that part there, and was thinking, how could I do just that, maybe with a border, and then this Halloween kind of a vintage little girl dressed up in a witch's costume. I just thought it was quaint. Whether I'll ever do it or not, don't know. The way I'm going, probably not. But again, I have it, you know, if I get to it. But do you ever have that where you've ordered stuff and it takes, you know, more than a week to get, and then you just, it's like, surprise, happy birthday to me again. Like I said, I kind of make the round of the craft stores most weekends, and there were some good sales going on. I found these next two I found at Joann, and my youngest daughter Jennifer, loves butterflies, and I believe I saw someone working on this, and it was one of their works in progress, and it's this one. And what's unique about it, I don't know if you can see the background, that's actually on the Aida cloth. And it has like a vintage feel. It has, you know, some foliage, and it looks like envelopes or books, and then some like writing on it, cursive writing. But there's just in these areas that you do the butterflies. So I thought that was really neat. I'm trying to think how much I paid for it. Taking around $10, you know, and it comes with all the stuff. And then on the video number 4, where I talked about being an Apache Belle in college, and they're internationally known, and they're from Tyler, Texas. That's where the school is. And the yellow roses of Texas, and that Tyler is also one of the rose capitals. And I found this yesterday, and I think I got it, they had a 60% off coupon, and I think it came up around $8. Of course, this is without tax. And I was thinking I could put something about Apache Bell. I'm a Bell Gold, which means you're alumni and support the Bells, and put established in 1947 and then line 31. This year is their 70th anniversary, so I thought that would be memorable to do. And $8? You know, just the time to go get all the flosses is worth $8. Now, these that I'm gonna show you next are from Hobby Lobby, and they had all their needlework for 30% off. And I think everybody knows they have one coupon a week. It's always the standard 40% off. You can only use one coupon. What I didn't know, and I don't know if I would have been able to do this at the one here locally, the Denton store seems a little bit more relaxed, and although they were 30% off, they did let me use a 40% off on one of them. These are all by Artiste, and by, I'm not going to pronounce this correctly, but it's Zigart. And I don't know if you can see that, there's a glare, but that's a unicorn. Now, I don't like his little hairy chin, but I figured I could just fill it in with blue and just make a little editing there. I just don't like that little addition to his little chinny chin. Now, you saw the lemon crate label, and I think this has to be the same artist, and it has the same look to it, and this is called Italian Lemons. And anyway, these were originally $29, so 30%-ish, I think they were like $11. They come with, this one had like antiqued Ada and then all the flosses. And probably a lot of you don't do kits, but to me, you know, having it all pulled together, you know, there's a time and a place for that. So again, here's one with the butterfly. My daughter loves butterflies, and then all this background is on the Ada cloth printed on there. So I don't know if you can see, the butterfly has a lot of back stitching in it, and I probably would probably only put in half of what they have there. I think it's a little overdone for my taste, so I'd probably do a little editing on that. And okay, this next one, it looks like the little cow that I got, but I just thought that was so cute. It's called Colorful Cow. They had one that had some of the same kind of goopy look to it, a cat, and then I think a dog in glasses. But I just thought, for Texas, a cow, you know, and I had never seen that pattern before. And then, not that I had not already bought enough for the weekend. On my drive-by, quick in and out, you know, usually by the time I get there, it's after work, or Saturdays, because I stay up so late on a Friday night that I get up late. I'm rushing in there at 7:30 at night, right before they're going to close. But I think I got in there with a couple minutes to spare. And by the way, I'm a Diet Coke-aholic. And as you can see, I'd already bought plenty. And I think at this point I hadn't even bought the roses one. But this was on the sales table. And again, it's that same brand. but the detail on the cups, it was just so darn cute. I had to get it. And you know, I debated because clearly I've got way more than I'm ever going to do, but it just had a sweet feel. It was quaint without being corny. Anyway, how many is that? I don't know. I bought way too many, but I guess you can have worse addictions, can't you? At Joann's, they, you know, they have like that area that's things that are like a collection by different designers, and for probably $1 up, their items. Well, they had this cute little bag that I could consider a tool, as far as, you know, putting in maybe flosses, scissors, stuff the pattern in there if need be. But they had a pug on there. So me and my love of pugs, this was coming home with me. I think it was 50% off. And one of the last things I was going to show you, and it just kind of hit me, I love journaling or buying like Midori Traveler's notebooks. I went through a ring phase where, you know, the Filofax or some of the pricier ones, the Julio. I have a red Julio, and I'm trying to think. There's one from like Belgium. I think it's Belgium, and it's Vander something. And I go back to it. It is made out of buffalo. It is wrinkly. It's black, and I have a brown one, and I just love it. I mean, it's cushy. It's, you know, black goes with everything. Anyway, all in all, here I'm going on a squirreling on you. I got into Happy Planners for a little bit, and you know, they had a like a lead up to a launch of some new products, and I got all excited. Surprise! I wanted all the things, and when it really came down to it, when I came down to using the Happy Planners with the disc, I really don't like it. The paper is not thick enough. It, you know, it ends up not staying, you know, in its shape to stay in the disc. At least I'm probably not the easiest on things when I'm working. So it's like I bought all these really cute Happy Planners that I'm not going to use. But they did have, as part of their items, these little tote bags. And it's Create 365. But these would be, and it's got, you can tell I never used it, 2 pockets that you can see through. And then on the other side, it's got a little pouch and then another clear. So I'm thinking, gee, I could use this as a project bag. You know, here I've bought it, haven't used it, and then with their latest launch, at least in December time frame, November, they came out with the gold. So I bought that on sale. Gold is not my go-to color. If it was going to be metallic, I'd like silver, but anyway, I just thought might as well make use of it, repurpose it. And let me see, let me read my notes and see if there's anything else I've missed that I wanted to share with you. Again, thank you for everyone that watches my silly videos where I stumble over words. I have terribly red ears and flushed face and talking to myself. Anyway, some of the Flosstube videos that I've run across this week that I've really enjoyed watching. Kay's cross stitch. She's hilarious. She was going through this whole thought process on her project bags. It was just really making me laugh. This is totally not craft related, not booktube related, but it is on YouTube. And Cheyenne, Cheyannn, I think it's Clark, but let me look it up here, see if I can find her. She has a YouTube channel and Instagram, and she ultimately she had it for fitness, and I think she was into doing the fitness kind of competitions, and very young and beautiful, and just out of the blue. I mean, she had gotten she had a fiance. They were planning to get married, and I think, oh, it is Cheyenne Clark. And all of a sudden, she had cancer, ovarian cancer, and she continued to, her channel, theme content changed, and it's documenting what she's going through. And she is a trooper, I gotta say. She is just something else. And she did get married. Her husband is wonderful, and I think she relocated from Florida up to Washington area, Washington State, to have her mother and grandmother there to help support her through the chemo. And I mean, she had gorgeous hair, and going through chemo, she knew she was going to lose it. It's just amazing that she is sharing it, and really the reality of what she's going through at such a young age. And I do think in the power of prayer. So you might want to check that out. She really is remarkable, I guess is the word that I would use. A couple others that I've really enjoyed, Lollipop Stitches. I think she's out of the UK. She cracks me up, and she flushes too, so I feel like we're maybe a kindred sisters. Clearly I'm much older than her, but she is really funny. She has a humor that I really am drawn to. And then Pyrex Stitches, I watched hers just today. I think she's out of Australia. And Pyrex is, I think she collects all kinds of Pyrex bowls and dishes, and you can see it in her backdrop. What she had today that I was really excited to see, she had gone to the Nora Corbett retreat down in Australia, and Nora had created a mermaid for that group, and it's now available on a website for free, and she had completed it. And so I was really interested to see that made up. And God, there was something else I was going to tell you, and it just totally went out of my mind. Anyway, it'll come to me, and I'll have to probably share it with you on the next Flosstube. But thank you for watching this, and totally apologize for not having a work in progress. I would have shown you my disaster. I clearly was prepared to do that, but luckily I couldn't find it. So I think that's God's way of telling me move on. It was just, I was getting so discouraged, and but I will carry on and go to the next one, and hopefully I don't know if it was just that color of floss or what the issue was, but it just really, and it's so much in the, so much of a background of the same color, it really jumps out at you when a stitch is off or something's not right. And it surely at least under, you know, magnification, it really looked horrible. So that's my sad story for the week, but hopefully I will have something. Maybe I'll start one of these projects. I'm not really sure. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to either do the crate label, or there's a Audrey Hepburn that's only like a 5x7 and with just a few colors, and I think maybe that's an easy go-to. Oh, I just remember what I was going to tell you. That artist, let me see if I can find it, in that book, the Donna Kohler book, and the artist, she had 4 artists in that book, Barbara Batts Hillman, and I think I showed this Celtic Angel. I ran across, looking for her in the crates, I didn't realize she has all kinds of angels and fairies. And of course these are from a while back, but on, I think it was on eBay, I found some of, and they come with like 6 angels or fairies. I think the fairies was for a monthly birthday or fairy. So they had 12 in there, and I know it was like around $8, I think. And then she had really interesting angels, and the one that really caught my eye, and I think I had to buy it separately. I bought one that had 6 designs in it, but the one that, of course, was not offered in a collection where you could get it, you know, 6 for, you know, 1 pamphlet. It was a American angel, but it was like a Native American, and it had a paint horse standing by her. And I thought, with, of course, you know, the angel wings, and they had a second one that I think was included with one of the pamphlets that I ordered, and it was an American, but Native American, but it had a wolf standing by her. So really interesting, had not seen anything like that. Also, on one of the fairies, for July, month of July, it's like a red, white, and blue American angel. So I thought that was really interesting. Also, I thought of one more thing. Nora Corbett, I had no idea that she had a kind of a sewing series of fairies, and there was one with a thimble, one with a needle, one with beading, and one that had like a pin cushion. Those are the ones that I ran across. I think there may be one other. Clearly, because I'd bought so much already, I opted to found one reasonably priced. I think it was a thimble, and it has a thimble. It has this pretty fairy with a simplistic dress on, and it actually has a needle with the thread. The one thing, and I would be interesting to hear from anyone that's done the Nora Corbett, I don't know that I'm that much into the beading, and wondered if any of you have tried it, converting the beads to stitches versus using the Mill Hill beads, or, you know, it calls for Krennic usually. Have you ever converted that to just normal DMC floss? Anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough, and thank you for watching. And I guess my ending tagline is happy trails, happy stitching. Have a great week.